Good morning, Bleepin' Jeepers. I'm walking and talking today because that's what we do. That's what YouTubers do. They walk and they talk. So in the last video, we got Josh's WJ completely stripped out on the interior and we started building these axles right here. Today, what are we gonna do, Josh?
We're gonna start stripping the exterior. Here down, going bye-bye.
So we're gonna get all of the lift, axles, suspension pulled out of there today, and then we're gonna start mocking everything up. So that's what's in store for you. This is gonna be an awesome build, Project Bumble, part 3. Let's get started. Awkward silence.
Yep.
Lots of it.
Did you show the axles when you pointed down there?
These axles right here.
When you said, we're building these axles right here?
Right here.
Yeah. That one? You showed that one?
These axles right here. How does that meme go? That's not looking good. That's not looking good. That is not looking good. Not looking good. Oh, that's not looking good. Not looking good at all.
Today here at BleepinJeep, everything looks great.
Look at this silly setup we have going on here. So my tool cart is actually an electrical cart and battery charging station. My tools are all in this big toolbox, which now that we're changing shops, is kind of in the wrong spot because this is my old shop, but now my tools are way far away from where we're going to be working on the lift. But if we're going to be working in here, anyway, you get the idea. Looks like Josh is making a temporary solution here. Do you have everything we need?
I have most of it. We might be short a couple wrenches, but...
So my question to you, all you professional mechanics, when you have a lift like this, where do you typically keep your toolbox? On the side? In the front? Hey Josh.
Yeah?
Have you ever met Big Susie?
Oh, this is not.
I don't. You late one night?
She's a pinch hitter. She comes in handy. Doesn't get used often, but comes in handy. Woo! Told you, pinch hitter. Something's still connected. I feel like there should be some crescendoing music right there. We need wheels. We're running out of jack stands, folks. We need an axle jack. Have you seen those? You just attach the whole axle to one jack and move it around.
That'd be nice.
Coming soon to a Facebook marketplace near you. Dana 30, built really strong. RCVs, Iron Rock Off-Road Kit.
It's the high clearance critical path long arm kit.
High clearance, critical path. Anyway, let us know if you're looking for any of those parts. We still got more parts. Are you selling the shocks?
Yeah, selling shocks.
Are they good?
They're still good.
Got Fox Shocks 2.0s with reservoir. Only $9.99.
Only $99.99.
Wait, there's more.
We'll cut the price in half.
Act now and we'll throw in a second one for free.
And some extended bump stops.
All right, we still have the rear. It's pretty much disassembled. What's left to do? We've got this upper
Yeah, we got that.
triangular thing here.
Yep.
And
You
I got the
those
bolts
bolts
loose
loose?
already. They just have to come out.
So shocks.
Shocks need to come off. And then we'll be golden. Josh just told us he needs to get home tonight. The only way to do that is get this back together this evening. We got 2 hours. How you gonna get home?
Everything's loose now. It should go back together real quick.
Easy. Knock it out.
We're out of wheels.
We're out of wheels.
Rolly wheels.
Oh.
What are you talking about? There's 4 right there.
Go get 'em.
They're heavy.
It is the start of day 5. I am probably going to be down here in the shop by myself most of the day. Matt is up editing videos. I think most of you guys realize how much work really goes into BleepinJeep and YouTube. It's pretty crazy. Matt works really hard. I'm sure he'd love to be down here in the shop every day, but I mean, there's the BleepinJeep.com store where you can get all your merch and stuff like that. Instagram, editing videos for YouTube, and just lots of stuff that goes into it. But for today, what I'm going to be doing is trying to get the rest of the stuff stripped off. We got the axles, the big stuff off yesterday. We got like these shocks got to go. Bump stops got to go, drive shafts got to go. Lower link mounts here, they don't need to be here and they'll probably be in the way, so they're gonna get cut off. The upper control arm can come off as well as the mounts. We'll pull the gas tank out, the receiver off, this back bumper. We'll have to pull the cross member, get the frame ground down. So let's get started. Now it's time to get rid of some of these mounts and brackets that aren't needed. Most unibody stuff is spot welded together, so we can use a spot weld bit, and there's a couple different kinds. That guy just kind of looks like a regular drill bit, and it's gonna drill clear through both pieces. It's gonna leave a hole on the inside piece. There's also one of these, which is probably what I'd use if mine wasn't chewed away to nothing. And this is nice because you drill a pilot hole, it goes around and it'll only cut through the top layer, leaving the bottom piece intact without a big hole in it. We use the plasma for some of it, might use a Sawzall for some of it, might use a cutoff wheel for some of it, just whatever it takes to get all these guys up in the front and the back, we'll do it. Time to get the transfer case out and the cross member out so we can put the frame stiffeners up here and figure out where we need to grind all the paint off so we can get them welded on. I'd said before I didn't know how I was going to hold the transmission up. Well, it turns out there's a transmission jack which work perfectly for that.
The only problem with that is then there's nothing to hold the transfer case, so we're just going to unbolt it and have Josh lay on the ground and catch it.
I'll be like a mattress.
Here's a little sneak peek of the next video, and I've got my silver ticket. Colt and I are going to be judges at Matt's Off-Road Recovery. He's putting on the Off-Road Record Games. So if you guys want to come out, you definitely should. We're going to have a special shirt that you can only get on site at those games. But it's mattsoffroadadventures.com. It's March 9th, 10th, and 11th. It's close to Las Vegas. So you can fly into Las Vegas or you can fly straight into St. George. It's at the Sand Hollow Off-Road Park there. And I really would like you guys to come. It's like $60 per person, but that comes with a lot of stuff. And you get to see all of your favorite YouTubers in one spot. It's going to be really cool, vendor show and everything. So if you can, come on out to that, and we look forward to seeing you there.
This motion void where prohibited. This offer cannot be used in conjunction with any other offer. Matt's Off-Road Recovery reserves the right to deny your eligibility at any time for any reason.
Those fit really nice. All right, guys, Josh has the frame rails all cleaned up. Now we're going to start working as a team to get everything put on. So we have a lot of Iron Rock goodies here. We have the Iron Rock central frame stiffeners for the center of the Jeep. We've got the Iron Rock OffRoad front frame stiffener that gets bent right here and welded into place. We have the Rock Link lift, 3-link and 4-link on the rear from Iron Rock as well. All of this stuff is bolt on, so it comes powder coated, which is pretty cool. Check that out, you even get this little guy. That's not just a sticker, but it's got some dimension to it there. What's really cool about doing it all Iron Rock is that it works together. So all the holes that you need are pre-built into the weld-on frame stiffeners, and then those holes line up with the bolt-on lift kit. So after that, we have this front cross member. That's for the front suspension. We have 1 link on one side, and then this side has the lower link and the upper link as well for the 3-link part of the kit. Also, I wanted to mention before I forget that we were able to get you guys a discount code for Iron Rock for 10% off. It's just lowercase BleepinJeep. Also, if you ever forget any of our coupon codes, go to the website, BleepinJeep.com. Right at the top there, member discounts. We have lots of coupon codes for now Iron Rock, also Barnes, and a whole bunch of other great companies. You know the scariest part of any build?
What's that?
The point of no return.
I think we already hit that.
And we already hit that point. We have to weld these on there. If you've never installed frame stiffeners before, what you need is a couple of clamps, probably a board or two, a jack, and a helper. Go ahead and put that up there. What we need to do is try to get that in exactly the right place. And each place where this is cut is going to be a fold. So we're going to put bolts in where the bolt holes go, try and line everything up, and jack it into place, and clamp it into place. So let's see when this needs to come. We want to make sure that the bolt holes are centered here and the clamps push the metal all the way over to the frame so that when we weld there's not big gaps in here. So I'm going to start right here where the clamp is done.
I missed those.
It was your job.
You had one job.
You had one job.
He forgot to get the paint off of these areas here. So once you get that clamped, this pushed up, I'm just gonna go along in pieces, weld this little piece, then I'll move the clamps, move the jack over here, get that pushed up into place, weld that, and the same thing on this side. That's something I should probably mention, is if you plan on doing this, make sure you take your carpet out. You definitely wouldn't want to be welding to the floorboard with carpet in there. Josh is checking for fires on the interior. You see any fires up there?
I don't see any fires. The only thing that's flammable is where that wire loom runs, right down the corner, right
Right where I'm going to be welding?
right close to it.
Nice.
You're down on the...
Alright, so I've got all of the plug welds done, and now I'm just going to go around the entire exterior of this thing. That part is really tricky because you have to sew the two together. So when you're welding something thick to thin like this, what you want to do is concentrate the heat on the thick part and then drag it over into the thin. Takes some practice, but you'll eventually get it. That way you don't burn through into the frame. What'd you do? Brought Florida with me.
Good morning out there in YouTube land. It is day 7 of the WJ build. Yesterday we did a bunch of welding, middle frame stiffeners, almost all welded on. We got the front frame stiffeners mocked up into place. They can be welded on. The ball joints in the front axle. So that's out of the way. I started out today by taking the air hose and trying to blow out the frame rail because I got kind of tired of all the dirt falling in the face. And so that's what came out so far, plus everything else that's been coming out of it. Today was a bunch of welding. Yesterday was a bunch of welding. Today is getting ready to be a bunch of welding. Tomorrow will probably be a bunch of welding.
All right, we've got most of our frame stiffeners welded up. Next thing we're gonna do is get this link mount and cross member bolted up so we can mock up our suspension. What I really like about the Iron Rock kit is that the cross member is separate from the control arms mount. And what I mean by that is in some suspension kits, the cross member is welded to the link mounts. So if you need to remove your transmission, you have to basically pull out your entire suspension. This is different in that once we get all this bolted up, this is separate. Then you ever need to remove your transmission or your transfer case in the future, this just pops down and your links stay in place. Those 4 bolts go there, and then right here we're gonna have to drill 2 holes, and then this flag nut gets fed up through here, and we're gonna put the new hardware into this flag nut. Dead batteries. If anybody is a Milwaukee dealer, we need some batteries up in here. Here's a little tip for you guys. If you have a lot of vertical drilling to do, just take you a jack and make your own little drill press.
Whoa.
Easy. Was that easier on your arms? Tell the truth.
It was.
That'll keep you from wearing yourself out if you have a lot of holes to drill upside down. I just wanted to see you get smacked in the face with the drill, and it didn't happen.
Didn't happen this time.
All right, so now that flag nut would go in here and that get bolted, but we're not gonna do that just yet because all this is coming off again for paint later. So we're gonna leave the flag nut till the end so we don't lose that thing up in the frame rail somewhere. So despite this all being a bolt-on kit, one of the benefits of having a cross member that's separate from the link mounts is that if you want to, you can go ahead and weld the link mounts in place, because since it separates, you'll still be able to get your transmission out. If it was a unit that was completely one solid unit, you would never be able to weld that on. Action. All right, now we're gonna get the rear cross member up into place. The frame stiffeners from Iron Rock have the holes in them, which is really nice. So all this is incorporated together. It all works together, but we do need to drill up through here the factory frame. It's kind of confusing on where we're at when you only see the underside of the vehicle, but to give you some perspective, that's the rear. So that's the rear cross member that's going to hold the rear upper and lower links. You're a real Michelangelo, you know?
They call me the Krylon Kid.
So once again, we've got 2 flag nuts. They go here and here. There's 1 bolt that goes here, nut on the back side. How long do you think it's gonna take to fish these in there?
1 minute.
1 minute?
1 minute.
At least I can reach it with my finger.
Ah, so much dirt.
I got 1. Is it a race to the finish?
No, because my side doesn't line up.
Then it is a race. Okay, we've got a lot of these iron rock flex joints to put together. It looks pretty complex at first, but it's fairly simple. All you need to do is take the Allen head bolts, you're going to put it through the steel ring and then through the plastic ring. You're going to put some grease in there, shove it in from one side. Then you're going to put the ball in. You're going to put the other plastic ring on the back side, the other metal ring, the locking nuts, and then you're going to tighten everything down in a crisscross pattern. Once you get that all finished up, the Zerk fitting goes on the end, and you're all set. All the torque specs are in the directions from Iron Rock, but it's 70 inch-pounds at first, then 85 inch-pounds, and then you're supposed to come back after 5 minutes and re-torque to another 85 inch-pounds. All right, here in a minute, we're gonna bring this thing down and set up our rear axle placement. To do that, I need to put on the rear links on the cross member. The reason that these are unpainted is because you can specify from Iron Rock that you want a certain extra length on your links. So let's say you wanted an additional 4 inches on your links. You can call them, specify that, they'll powder coat that and ship it to you. In this case, we didn't really know where we wanted the rear axle yet until we get it all situated. Phones!
Scam likely.
We didn't know where we wanted our rear axle to be until we got further along in the build. So in that case, we just had them sent 6 inches longer than typical, and it's unwelded. So we're gonna be able to set this up anywhere we want to. So I'm gonna place this right there, tack it in place. Once we figure it out, if we need to cut some off, we can do that, and then we'll weld it fully. Oh yeah. You remember when you were a kid and you'd go to the fair and there was like that obstacle course and you had to make your way through all the things? Yes. This is it. This is it. An adult version. Woo! Woo! Woo!
Purposely slammed into each other.
Except if you mess up in this game, you get your teeth busted out.
Good morning, y'all. It is the start of day 8, and today is everybody's favorite day, beadlock mounting day. Yay! Lots of bolts and anti-seize to play with today. These you should recognize if you're a long-time BleepinJeep viewer. Wheels that were on the Scorpion crawler up until we put the new axles on. They are already a JK bolt pattern, a 5-on-5, so they should bolt on no problem. We want to put them on the axles, that way when we put the axles underneath it, we can see kind of where they're gonna need to be to clear the 40s. First thing I'm gonna do though is clean these wheels up because they're still covered in Moab from Matt's last trip out. Got the wheels clean-ish. I've got 1 tire mounted already and 3 more to do, My wheel tossing hasn't been very accurate this morning. My arm seems a little off. So I'm just gonna try and muscle them on there. We'll see how it goes. We'll get these 3 done. Tires are all mounted. That wasn't too bad. I am gonna be using spacers. So these are 1.25 inches. I have a set of 2 inches on the way. As long as I'm using those wheels, those have a really deep back spacing. They're 5 inches or better. And to be able to clear the body on the WJ, I'm gonna need to get those out as far as possible. Spacers don't scare me any, as long as they're done right and you check the torque, it's okay. The Scorpion had 2-inch spacers on the whole time it was on the 44s, and it was just fine. Nice.
Look at the way that looks right now. It looks like a big old monster truck.
Told you I could fit 40s under it.
That is one big lifted WJ right there. I say we just build it so that it sits like that.
It's like that, some big ladder bars.
Yeah. Bro truck. All right, we're gonna set it down, see what this thing's gonna look like. Let's do that. How about the hood? Can you reach the hood? Check that out, guys. That's one bad mamba jamba. See how low you can get that sucker before we start having major issues here. Yep. Oh, the rear's hitting. You're gonna have to do some major cutting up front there, especially if you want to go out further with that front. And then the rear. Are you gonna cut any of the door?
I mean, it could go back another inch or two. So a stock WJ is 105. I was thinking we were gonna have to bring the front forward 2 inches and the rear back 6 inches, which would put us at 112.
Well, let's check and see what it is. What do you guys think? Sitting where it's at right now, what's the wheelbase of this thing?
On the inside. Well, I'll be 113.
Is that what you predicted?
That's what I said was 113.
All right. Although it looks really close, there's still a whole lot of work to be done. We've got to do a lot of cutting, a lot of suspension work, a lot of fitting, a lot of fabrication up still to come. So make sure to hit that subscribe button. Sometimes YouTube unsubscribes you guys if you don't watch a couple of our videos in a row. So make sure to watch and resubscribe if you've been unsubscribed. Until then, there's more videos. Which side are they?
I think they're over there.
There's more videos right there for you to watch. Until then, we've got a whole build series on this coming up and a lot more cool stuff. We'll see you next time.